my name's Dean, and on behalf of Pledgeaway Industries, we'd like to congratulate and thank you for joining our Pledgeaway family. This operational video guide was made for your convenience. Your motorhome comes equipped standard with a Dometic 3 cubic foot refrigerator. The three-way refrigerator runs off of three sources of power, either 12 volt, 110, or propane. The fridge is designed to work the best off of either propane or 110. It is suggested that before you go on your first trip, or any trip, you cool the fridge down on either 110 or propane first, and then while you're traveling in the coach, switch it to 12 volt. The 12 volt will maintain the temperature in the fridge, but it's not recommended to start off with a warm fridge trying to cool it down on 12 volt. When you want to start the fridge, you have your selector knobs up top. For AC, you would just switch it to AC and then turn the thermostat to the desired temperatures. If you'd like to switch it and start it on DC power, that would be at the bottom. And again, you would just turn your knob to the desired temperature. For running it on propane, it's indicated by gas. Depress this button, which opens the gas flow, and push this one, which starts the piezo lighter. You have a flame indicator. Once the red bar goes into the green section, your flame is lit. At that point, it's recommended to hold this button down for about 30 seconds and then slowly release it. If the red bar is in the on section, then your fridge is running on propane. If you have any other questions or you forget on what you're doing, the easiest thing to do is open the fridge, and down below it has how to start the fridge on gas and the electric operation as well. If you ever have any problems with your fridge, inside your blue portfolio there's the information package on this Dometic fridge. It'll also list service centers, contact names and numbers to contact if you're experiencing any problems. Your unit comes equipped standard with a Fantastic Fan vent. The Fantastic Fan vent is similar to all the other RV roof vents, but this fan vent, you have to have the lid open in order for it to run. It has 3 speed settings, first, second, and third speed. At the high speed, in third, it'll exchange all the air within your van within 60 seconds. This fan also is run by a thermostat. So the advantage to this is, if you're parked in a parking lot and out shopping all day, you can set your thermostat, leave your vent open, and it'll automatically kick in when it hits a certain temperature inside your coach and cool the coach down. Now you have to remember that the lid has to be open for the fan to work. If you have it on and you close the lid, it automatically stops itself. If you ever experience any problems with your Fantastic Fan, the first place to look is a 6 amp fuse may have been blown, and it's located right here. Pledgeaway has conveniently located the monitor panel, generator remote start switch, water heater start switch, and carbon monoxide detector, all centrally located in the van. Your monitor panel indicates to you the levels of your gray water, your black water, your fresh water, and the battery charge level. So if you're camping and you want to know how much fresh water you have left, you would push the button and it'll light up indicating how much water is left in your tank. If you'd like to know how much charge is left in your auxiliary batteries, you would press the battery button and the levels again would light up and indicate how much charge you have. Also on this panel we include the water pump switch, so when you want to use your water system you would push this button to start pressurizing your system. If you have an optional generator or generator ready, this is where your start switch is located, and it also comes with an hour meter. so you know when you need to service your generator. To start it, you would simply push the button, you would hear the generator turning over, and let go once it starts running. Your Suburban water heater start button is located here. When you want to use your hot water, you would just simply push the button. The red light will come on for about 15 seconds while it's engaging and lighting itself, and then it'll go off. The water heater has what's called a pressure relief valve. When the water heater cycles, which means it runs until it warms up, and then it shuts itself off, and when the water inside the tank gets cool again, it'll start back up and cycle. If the water gets too hot, the pressure relief valve will leak a little bit of water out, and you may notice this on the exterior of your van coming out of the hot water heater vent on the outside. This is normal. If it didn't have a pressure relief valve, the pressure would build up in the form of steam. Steam would get into your hot water lines, and when you go to open a tap, you may experience bursts of hot water or steam, and that can scald you. So if you do see water dribbling on the outside of the van from your hot water heater, it's just doing its job. Also, if you have a generator or your unit is generator ready, we also equip the vehicle with a carbon monoxide detector for your safety. Across from the kitchen, Pleasureaway has conveniently located the microwave. This microwave works exactly like your household microwave does. It's 0.6 of a cubic foot, and it features also a turntable inside. This runs off of 110 volt electricity, and you must either be plugged into shore power, or if you have an optional generator, the generator must be running. Your 2-burner stove runs off of propane. It's recommended that you get yourself a handy lighter like this. When you go to light the stove, make sure you have your propane tank valve open. Using your little lighter, light it, and then turn the gas valve open. When you first use the stove for the first time, you may not have propane in the lines and they might be filled with air. So it may take 10 or 15 seconds for the gas to get to the burner. Once the burner is lit, you can control it either higher or lower flame by the 2 dials. Your motorhome may be equipped with the optional Coleman 7100 BTU roof air conditioner. If you have the Coleman, the control settings are located at the back. To start the air conditioner, you must be plugged into either 110 volt or have your optional generator running. With the power source on, all you would have to do is set your select switch to either low cool or high cool, and then adjust the temperature accordingly. If you have the optional Penguin 11,000 BTU roof air conditioner, your controls move to the front but work in the same way. Again, you would just be picking low cool or high cool and set your desired temperature. Each Pleasureaway comes equipped standard with 16,000 BTU forced air propane furnace. You either have a Hydroflame brand or a Suburban brand furnace. The thermostat is located on the wall nearest to the TV. To start the furnace, you simply flip the bottom switch to the on position and then set the desired thermostat to start. This thermostat works just like the one in your house, so once you have it set, it runs in and out in cycles. To shut it off, just simply flick the bottom switch off. Your pleasureaway may be equipped with the optional 13-inch AudioVox TV. The TV is a 12-volt TV along with a 12-volt VCP. That's only a video cassette player, so it doesn't record. To watch TV, first you have to turn on the 12-volt antenna TV booster. By flipping that switch, you now give power to the antenna to draw in a signal. Then you just simply turn the power on to the TV or the VCR if you want to watch movies or just simply watch the TV. If you're at a campground and they have park cable, you can hook the cable up to your jack outside, and then you'd have to switch this inside here. By switching it across, it bypasses the antenna, and now your cable is feeding the TV. If you don't have the cable and you want to use the antenna, you have to slide it back. Your water pump is located underneath the kitchen sink in the bottom cupboard against the back wall. Each unit comes equipped with a SureFlow Whisper King water pump. This is a demand water system your coach has. What that means is that when you turn the pump power switch on, which is located in the monitor panel, the pump activates and starts putting water through all your water lines. Once the water lines are filled and the system is pressurized, the pump will shut itself off. Now when you go and you open up a tap, the water will run, the pump will turn itself back on, and will continue to run until you shut the tap off. Once the tap is off, the pump will run for 10 to 15 seconds to repressurize the system. If you live in a climate where you need to winterize your vehicle for the winter time, the easiest thing to do is to take off the swivel inline fitting. So this is the line that draws the water from the freshwater tank. It goes through the inline filter, which catches any particles or debris inside the freshwater tank and flows through the pump. What you'll want to do is to have another swivel fitting and a small short piece of hose. By attaching the swivel fitting back into the inline filter and putting the other end into a jug of antifreeze, you're ready to winterize your unit. It's very important that you remember to turn the bypass valves on your water heater so that when you start pumping the antifreeze through the water system, it doesn't fill your hot water heater. Once you turn the pump on and it starts drawing the antifreeze through the system, you need to open up all of the taps in your kitchen sink and your bathroom sink, as well as flushing the toilet. Once the antifreeze starts coming through the faucets, turn the taps off, and all your lines are filled. It's also important not to forget to add about a cup of antifreeze into each P-trap so that the P-traps, which will hold water, don't crack as well. After doing that, your unit is ready for winter storage. Your motorhome is equipped with a 30-amp Magnatech power converter. The power converter is located underneath the closet. When you open the front panel, it displays the 110-volt breakers and the 12-volt fuses. The way the power converter works is when you plug in a shore power, it breaks down the 110-volt and supplies it to the sockets and the 110-volt appliances like the microwave and an optional roof air conditioner. It also takes part of that 110-volt and it breaks it down to 12-volt, and it provides the rest of your appliances that require 12-volt, such as ceiling lights, water pump, furnace. If you have a problem with anything, everything is labeled here, so you can see this is the main 30-amp breaker. This is for your microwave, your fridge, your upper galley plugs. They're all labeled, and they just flick on and off like a household breaker. These are your 15-amp, 12-volt fuses. If you have any problems with anything, they're all listed right here where they belong. Along with your power converter and the 12-volt system, we have 3 inline 12-volt circuit breakers. If you have a twin bed model, they're located behind this door underneath the one bench seat on the passenger side. If you have an electric sofa, they're located in the same spot, but you'd have to access them through the rear door, and it's underneath the sofa. There'll be a smaller white cabinet door or oak if you have that option. These 3 breakers, as they are labeled here, are 12 volt, and the first one's for your 15 amp fridge, the second one is for your 30 amp power converter, and the last one is your 80 amp charge line. What the purpose of these breakers are is if you have a power surge, they will trip. So if you find that your fridge is not working on 12 volt, or you have no power from your auxiliary batteries to your power converter, these are the 2 breakers to look at first. You know they'll be tripped when this little black tab, which is flush now, is sticking up. To reset it, you just push the black tab back down. The 80 amp charge line runs from the engine alternator back to your auxiliary batteries. If you find that you're driving and your auxiliary batteries are weak, they probably aren't charging. So by looking at this breaker, you'll see that there is a trip mechanism here. This is a little lever that'll pop out. If the lever is popped out, your battery or batteries are not charging while you're driving. This is where you should look first if you're having any problems with charging your auxiliary batteries. Your motorhome also is equipped with a 12-volt disconnect switch. This 12-volt disconnect switch is located, if you have twin beds, right underneath here, underneath the storage compartment. If you have an electric sofa, it's located in the same place, but it'll be underneath your electric sofa. This switch cuts the power off between the 12-volt batteries and the rest of the coach. This is what the switch looks like. When the switch is loose, or you can take it out, it is disconnected from the 12-volt batteries. When the switch is in and it's turned, it's in a locked position and you can't lift it out, you now have power to the coach coming from your batteries. The purpose of this key and this disconnect switch is if you're going to store your unit for longer than a couple of weeks. The LP detector and the carbon monoxide detector are always a live draw, so they'll wear your batteries down. So by disconnecting the switch and pulling the key out, your batteries won't drain down while the unit is in storage. In the Excel wide body models by Pleasureway, you have a private enclosed bathroom. Behind this door, we feature a flush water toilet, a second sink, and a medicine cabinet. This bathroom also comes complete with a shower. Your flush water toilet, you have to have the pump turned on to provide the pressure and the water system, and then simply by using the levers on the side, it rinses and flushes when you're done. To use the shower, this complete compartment is watertight and water sealed. What you would need to do when you want to have a shower is pull this curtains down, take your shower curtain, which covers the windows and velcros on at these tabs, draw this shower curtain across the door, and then simply turn on your water on the taps, adjust the temperature that you like, remove the handle from the holder, and lift the diverter here. This will give you the water and the shower. Your shower head also has an off-on switch here. So when you need to shut it off without shutting the diverter off, just simply moving the switch cuts the water supply. When you're done showering, all you have to do is wipe up and you're finished. This unit comes complete with a shower drain, It's all plastic, and it's also all sealed and watertight, so you don't have to worry about leaks. It's also suggested that you should have the fantastic fan on to vent some of the air and remove some of the steam. If you have the new Pleasureway line Lexor, then you have a different style of bathroom than in the Excels. Your bathroom is behind these two cabinet doors. It features the same toilet, sink, vanity, and medicine cabinet. To use the flush toilet, it is the same as it was in the Excel. You have your two levers, one for flushing and one for rinsing. Your sink has hot and cold water taps, just like the kitchen sink, and the medicine cabinet opens the same way. The shower in this particular model moves into the aisle. So when you want to use the shower, you pull across the privacy second door, latch in the barrel bolt at the top. Then you would pull out your shower pan, which is stored right in this side here. Then you simply remove the drain from the floor. And then your shower pan locks into the bottom. And sits down right on the floor. You then just simply have to undo the shower curtain, pull it across and around, and you have your second set of controls for your shower head mounted on the side wall. When you're done with the shower, you just pull the shower curtain back in, wipe out your shower pan, lift it back out, and it stores neatly right back in its spot. Put the shower plug back in, and you're all done. Slide in your two partitions and close the door behind you. If you want to swivel the passenger or driver's seats, it's a very simple operation. To swivel the passenger seat around to face the back, the first thing you have to do is grab the large handle up front and make sure that the passenger seat is slid all the way back on the slide tracks. Secondly, you'd grab the handle below and lift it up, which unlocks the seat base so it slides it around. Now it faces the back. The driver's seat is the same operation, except for you slide the driver's seat all the way forward and then you pivot it inside. Now the driver's seat will only go a quarter of the way because of the wall partition behind it. To reverse the seats back, you just simply swivel them around the way they just came. If your Pleasureway comes with twin beds, whether it be the Lexar TD or the Excel TD, simply to make them into single beds, you would just pull the backrest cushions away and store them up front where it's out of the way. The beds are all ready to go. They go from the wall out to here and they're set up ready to use. Just a matter of you putting down your sheets. If you want to make this into one king size bed, then what you would do is you would start by lifting the night table out, placing bed supports across between the two single beds, and then using the backrest cushions to fill in the middle. If your motorhome was equipped with an electric sofa and you have the Excel wide body series, you have a dual sliding electric sofa. To lay down into a bed, the first thing you must do is move the sofa forward. So by pushing the forward button, it'll slide up. And then to lay the bed down, press the sofa power button down. This gives you a wall-to-wall sleeping size of 6 foot 6 inches long and 54 inches wide. When you want to bring the bed back up again, you just simply reverse the procedure. Now if you have the Lexor standard body series with the electric sofa, you only have the power of it going up and down, and you must manually slide it forward by the lever located underneath the bench right at the front. If you have an MP model with 3 seats up front, you can easily convert the 2 passenger seats into a single bed. To do that, you would first slide the front chair back and rotate it so that the backrest is into the aisle. And then secondly, you would slide the sleeper chair all the way forward. And then by grasping underneath the front of the seat and pushing down on the back, it'll lie down into one single bed. When you want to reverse it, you just simply grab the backrest of the chair and then slide it back into its normal position. Again, you would just swivel the front chair right back and around. That's how you make up the MP seats into single beds. On your key ring, you'll have a key numbered 345. You'll need to use this key to open up your exterior storage compartment. The compartments are very tight, so sometimes you may have to apply a little pressure at the key latch points to get it open. Inside the storage compartment, you'll find ample room for your goods, as well as your exterior park cable hookup, your city water hookup, optional exterior shower, and your 30 amp power cord. If you're at a park where they have the option of giving you cable TV, you would simply unscrew the lid in the bottom, which gives you access to pull your park cable up through the bottom to plug in, as well as your city water. You can pull through your city water hose and attach it here. Your city water system works in such a way that it bypasses the freshwater tank and your water pump, so that when you do have the water turned on, it flows through your lines just like if you had your pump on. One thing you may want to remember is different parks will have different water pressure, so you may want to get a water pressure regulator. Your exterior shower works just the same as in your bathroom, where you have the handheld shower and the 2 taps. Your 30 amp power cord is located in here, and as well you can pull it through the bottom and plug in. One thing to remember, since you do have, if you have an optional exterior shower inside, that there is a possibility that it may drip a little bit of water. So this compartment cannot be truly 100% watertight. So if you're placing any goods in here that could result in water damage, you should put them in a plastic bag or store them inside the coach. On the driver's side rear corner, you will find your propane tank behind this door. This is roughly a 30-pound propane tank. Gives you about 8 US gallons worth of propane when filled. Comes complete with a gauge, and you should always remember never to fill your propane tank over 3/4 full because propane will expand. When you are traveling in your pleasureway, you should always make sure to turn the propane valve off so you don't have any gas that could possibly be leaking if you ever got into an accident inside the coach. This is the pressure relief valve. If you have overfilled your tank and the gas expands, it'll automatically blow some of the gas off itself right here. This is your furnace vent, outside vent. So if you're parked and you're camping, the exhaust of your furnace when running will come out the coach here. So it's not a good idea to lean anything up against this part of the coach if you have your furnace running. We provide you with a sewer storage compartment. Inside the compartment you'll find your 10-foot sewer hose. When you want to dump your valves, you take this hose, and you'll find your termination valves located here underneath the running board storage compartment. The black handle on the valve indicates that this is your black water or your toilet tank. The gray water handle indicates that it's your gray water or your sink and shower water. Simply you remove this cap here, attach your sewer hose, place this into the dumping receptacle. Always remember to pull your black tank first, followed by the gray water. The gray water will rinse your hose out. Your pleasureway comes equipped standard with Firestone Ride Right airbags. There are 2 bags located to help the rear suspension of the van, one on each side. The valve stem for each is located underneath the bumper, one on the right side and one on the left side. Your airbag should be set at approximately 50 pounds of pressure. You would fill this like you'd fill your tire, and you'd also check it with a tire pressure gauge. The purpose of the airbags is to help level your van. So if you are towing something or you're loaded and weighted down and the rear of the van looks lower, you can add more air to bring the van up level. This helps the handling and the ride of the vehicle. If you have an optional Onan 2.8 microlight generator, you can access it to check the oil through our license plate. You simply drop this down, and if you had a generator, you could reach in here, check your oil, add your oil, and service it through this opening. To open your slide-out battery compartment, you need to use the key marked 751. Once you have unlocked the compartment, you lift the pin to pull your battery tray out. Your unit will come equipped standard with 1 battery. You may have an optional second battery that'll be right in front of the first one, and they are wired in series. These are interstate deep cycle batteries. If you ever have a problem with the battery, you can contact Interstate. They're all over North America, and they'll service the batteries for you. These 12-volt deep cycle marine batteries power your 12-volt system of your coach. So when you were driving, it charges these batteries up. Right above it, you'll find our fresh water fill. It requires a 751 key as well to open. We have a lock on the freshwater fill for your safety. You simply put your garden hose in when you're filling full of fresh water. This is your water heater exterior vent. If you remember when we were talking about the water heater before, you may see water dripping out if the pressure relief valve is functioning. This is the pressure relief valve up here. So if it does create too much pressure in the hot water tank, water will drip out this valve. You may see it dripping down the side of your coach. It won't hurt nothing, and it's just performing and doing its job. When you go to winterize and you've turned your bypass valves off, you'll need to drain your hot water heater tank. In order to do that, you'll need to remove this plug. This plug is also your anode rod. The purpose of the anode rod is that it will corrode itself because of different kinds of water. You may have hard water in different parts of the country, so instead of the inside of your tank corroding and rusting, this rod slowly deteriorates and will have to be replaced after a certain period of time depending on use. These are the two exterior vents for your Dometic 3-way 3 cubic foot refrigerator. They provide airflow to help cool the back of the fridge because it produces heat when it's cooling. Very rarely will you ever need to access this, only probably your service technician if he ever needs to perform any work on your fridge. Tire pressure is very important. It can directly affect how your vehicle handles and rides. It's important not to overinflate your tires. The tires are rated for a maximum of 80 pounds, but we recommend as a starting point to put 65 pounds in the rear tires and 60 pounds in the front. The pledge-away warranty is 3 years, 36,000 miles, or 60,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. Our warranty is for the original purchaser only. You can go to any pledge-away dealer to have service work done, and it is outlined in our owner's manual as to what the warranty covers. All the appliances are covered by their respective manufacturers, and inside your blue portfolio you will find instructional information on all the appliances as well as phone numbers and service contacts. Chrysler warranties their product as well for 3 years, 36,000 miles, or 60,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. And if you have any problems with transmissions, engines, drivetrains, you can take it to any Chrysler dealer. This concludes our video, and we hope you have many miles of stress-free, pleasurable travel.